As we turn our attention now to what's happening over the next hour and a half, as students set to return to Lamar High School in Arlington about 48 hours after one of their classmates was killed just before the first bell rang as they came back from spring break.
That was the first of two shootings at North Texas schools in just the first 2 days of this week. Yesterday, a student was shot at Thomas Jefferson High School in Dallas. Now, these are stories that are tough for parents and students alike to hear. And we send our kids off to school every day, never expecting to hear about violence on campus.
This morning, we've got team coverage of these stories. I want to start off with Chris Sadeghi live at Thomas Jefferson High School, where students and teachers will be home today. Megan Mitchell actually will kick things off, though, at Lamar High School in Arlington, where we are learning more about the student killed this week. We're expecting an emotional day today. Megan?
Yeah, in an exclusive interview with the mother of that student. Mark, good morning to you. I'm actually here at Lamar High School in front of the parking lot where this happened, but students are going to be heading into school today, really their first day since spring break. And I will say, there's going to be one student who is noticeably missing. That's after a shooting on campus Monday morning, as you mentioned, that killed one student and injured another. When students show up to school today, they're going to see a memorial for 16-year-old Deshaun Poirier. Just before school began Monday, police say they got a call when they say another student, a 15-year-old, shot and killed Poirier. A teen girl was also injured from shrapnel, and now that suspect is charged with capital murder. But the family of Deshaun is devastated. They had just moved to Arlington from Michigan last year, and we spoke exclusively to the mother, Rashone Jacobs, who tells us that when she got the call, she screamed, she broke down and cried.
For this to happen to him is devastating. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this situation. Even though I seen him, it's still like I'm in disbelief still.
And when students arrive here today, obviously they are going to be shaken up. They're going to have to try and process all of the trauma that comes with a tragedy of one of their classmates being killed right here on campus. But this is not the only incident that has happened. As you both mentioned, there was an incident just miles away at Thomas Jefferson High School, and that is where we find Chris Sadeghi, who has more on what students are dealing with there, Chris.
Yes, Megan, much like Lamar High School the day before, there will be no classes here at Thomas Jefferson High School in Dallas after a student was shot on campus. This happened just after school was let out for the day on Tuesday, about 10 minutes after that final bell rang. Sources say there was a fight in the parking lot and it ended when a student was shot in the arm. We saw the ambulance taking that student to the hospital, and the district later sent a notification to parents that the student is expected to make a full recovery. Police are reviewing surveillance video, but right now there's no suspect in custody. The school went into a lockdown, keeping students who were still in the building there in place until police gave them the go-ahead to release. We spoke to a student who put it in a very somber yet real way after two school shootings in 2 days here in North Texas.
School shootings are, at this point, average. They happened recently, and sooner or later it's going to get nearby to you.
Classes here at Thomas Jefferson and the adjacent Walnut Hill Leadership Academy Elementary School will both be canceled today. And then when students return on Thursday, they will notice an increased police presence as well as mental health counselors on hand to talk to them. Megan, back to you.
Yeah, Chris, just such a tragedy and an ongoing problem that we're seeing obviously throughout the last few years or so. And so within the next 30 minutes, we're actually going to be talking to a child counselor. His name is Dr. Brad Schwal, and he's going to give us a little bit more perspective because as we heard one of the students here at Lamar High School say just 2 days ago, this has become the norm for a lot of students in this generation. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Megan, and unfortunately, it kind of has become the norm. According to edweek.org, 10 school shootings with injuries or deaths have happened this year alone. 13 people have been killed or injured in school shootings, and you can just repeat that ad nauseum all the years prior. So when it comes to how do you talk to your kids about this, you say the same things that you've been saying incident after incident after incident, it appears.
Yeah. And it seems like it's unfortunately anytime something like this happens, we have these conversations, right? School districts, parents, what's the solution here? You know, we've seen districts implement clear bag policies. Metal detectors have been put in place. And unfortunately, this is just the reality that many parents and their kids have to deal with.
Yeah, and I think as a parent, one of the things that's frustrating is that none of the solutions that have been offered and put into place have yet seemed to work. And so I imagine, unfortunately, we will continue to hear these stories.
Yeah.